Good morning. Thanks for joining Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. Good morning, Julie.
Grand Rising. How are you, Jonathan?
Oh, it's a beautiful day out here in Kingman, Arizona. It's going to be about 75 degrees, perfect
Nice.
temperatures.
Beautiful.
Looks like we might actually have a few storms en route to us.
Well, that's all right. Bring it on.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Been watching these Democrats just getting a cussing match at one another. Their whole party's falling apart.
It really is.
Oh yeah. I've got a couple little feeds I'm going to share this morning on that as well.
Okay, great.
And then some about the Sharia law where they're trying to outban it here totally in the United States. And I hope to hell they can get that passed as well.
They need to.
Yeah, because right now this country's falling apart with what we're seeing going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start out the show this morning, and I want to share a little bit of that with you guys.
Great.
And okay. Well, that's kind of funny. I had it in the lineup.
It was totally cute, wasn't it?
It was totally there. We go. Now it ended up in a different part of the queue.
Oh boy.
So we're going to start off with this. Let's see if we can get it to play.
Viewer warning, you're about to hear some foul language.
Let's start tonight's show with the big news out of Washington on the shutdown. By the way, tonight's show will be brought to you by I can't believe it. I can't believe it. They caved on the shutdown.
8 Senate Democrats voted with Republicans to reopen the government, and the base is out for blood. Liberals are driving across state lines, hunting down the traitors.
My way into games. Hi. I spent about a couple hours trying to call this morning, and y'all didn't pick up. So then I drove an hour and a half to be here. Just put us through 5 weeks of suffering to just say, okay, that's fine. It was the most cowardly and weak move ever. Okay. He's a traitor, and people will die because of him.
Hakeem's trying to calm everybody down, but even CNN is putting him in a sombrero.
What is it? Shut down. What is it?
We have waged a battle on behalf of the American people.
But at the end of the day, you didn't get what you want, so was it worth waging this fight?
At the end of the day, the fight lives on.
He shut down the government, and all he had to show for it was a stupid sombrero. Not for old Chucky Boy, though. They're throwing him in a wheelchair and rolling him right out the door.
Democrats drew a line in the sand. They said, we are not going over this. And today, after 41 days, they pulled out a shovel and a bucket, and they ate all that sand and got nothing for.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to love it. It's normally the Democrats in these talk shows beating up on the Republicans or Donald Trump. And boy, these guys are just yelling the hell out of one another.
Yeah, good, as it should be.
Oh, yeah.
That's a mess.
I mean, it is incredible at his age that Chuck Schumer is still able to bend over so far.
The Messiah's disciples have descended down from heaven with a message. Chuck's not getting Me Too'd, but his time's up.
I think he's been in trouble. I think he is in bigger trouble now. I think Senator Schumer's been there since 1982. My guess is that he won't be leader of the party in 2027 after this election, unless something really surprising happens.
The Schumer shutdown's over, and so Schumer. The coup is in motion. In 24 hours, the squad, Rashida Tlaib, who didn't say anything about the Mideast peace deal, said this: Schumer should step down. Our friend Shri also wants Schumer's scalp. It's time for us to have somebody with guts. Ouch. Hakeem says, no way, Jose.
Do you think Schumer should be replaced?
Leader Schumer did not bless this agreement. He voted against it. And of course, Senate Democrats who voted no have made that clear.
Schumer either blessed the agreement under the table or isn't.
You know what's ironic is here Schumer voted against the Republicans on everything in this matter, and boy, they're holding him responsible for the 8 Democrats that said, "Screw you guys, we're out of here."
Wow.
You know, this is just. I'm going to quit sharing this one there. I mean, that was that was good enough for a laugh this morning. I'll tell you what,
for sure.
And I definitely needed a good laugh. But you know what we're seeing out there is just—it's about as hilarious as it can possibly get.
Yep.
And these guys are just going to make a show of it to no end. You know, and the Republicans have been just pissed off. A lot of Democrats right now are pissed off at their own party because a lot of these Democrats families ended up having to go without their SNAP benefits.
Right.
And now they're like, well, wait a second, you guys did this, and you did this for over 40 days, and then you guys just cave?
Right.
Did you starved us all?
Right.
Well, you could have caved right from the get-go, so we all could have been fed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and don't you think this is a way that really brings to light? I think all of the mishaps that are happening are bringing to light to we the people what's been going on behind the scenes. And it allows us to take a look and see how corrupt and how misguided all of this has been. And yeah, it's a hot mess, mess everywhere. But again, it's showing us what's really going on. So I'm cool with that.
You know, Julie, since we're on the subject about what's corrupt and all this crap going on, let's show the American people how corrupt it's been in our country with the cartels and everything. I'm going to share this little the statistics here for the American people so they can see exactly what we've been dealing with for the last God knows how long. Here we go. So if you guys take a look at these numbers right here.
Wow.
Yep. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. So anyways, just this year alone, we've already had over 17,011 pounds of meth, 128,479 pounds of cocaine, 113 pounds of heroin. Excuse me, 1,131 pounds of heroin. I was way off.
Man.
Fentanyl powder, 5,101 pounds.
Whoa.
How many of you folks out there know how many people here in America 5,101 pounds of fentanyl can kill? I'm asking the American people, if you guys can figure it out in the poundage weight, how many millions of Americans do you think would die?
I'm going to guess all of us with that big number. I mean, because it doesn't take much at all. I know it takes a very small amount.
Yeah, why don't you Google it and ask Google how many people in America 5,101 pounds of fentanyl can kill. Now, we can't forget, while you're doing that, Julie, we can't forget we've had over 2,139,738 fentanyl pills that have come through as well, that they have seized. Wow. And keep in mind, folks, this is what they've been seizing. You know, this is the crap that the Democrats have pushed to allow these illegals into our country, including the cartel, as they're trafficking their drugs here. Everything in the book to kill the American people. You know, you don't have to worry about the cartel shooting you. They're just going to poison you with the fentanyl alone.
Absolutely.
let alone all the other damn drugs.
Yep.
But
Yep.
this is where we're at, and um,
Well, so here's what we've got. Just real quick. It says here that 118 pounds of fentanyl could kill more than 26 million people.
thank you.
That's huge.
That's
And then we're
huge.
sitting on 5,100. Okay, that's we could all easily be killed.
Yeah.
It takes no amount at
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
to.
we're sitting on 5,100 pounds of fentanyl that they seized. But you guys got to keep in mind, here's the reality behind this. That's what they've seized. How
Yeah,
much
that's just what we know. Right, right.
fentanyl has come through our borders that they haven't been able to seize?
Yeah.
And here's again, and you weren't on the broadcast that we did down on the border, Julie. Um, we did this broadcast down on the border where we had the Sinaloa cartel right down there in the Tucson sector. Said,
Mhm.
tell me how they were going to kill every American in our country. They said they were just going to drop bricks of fentanyl right in our water supply and crop dust with the crop dusters over our farms. Uh,
Wow.
and if you guys think about it, and I don't mind broadcasting it because Homeland Security even put out a damn alert over it after we broadcasted this. And, you guys need to get this out to the American people as well. I mean, keep in mind, you go down to our damn water treatment plants, just like the ones out near me and everybody else around the country. They normally have, if you're lucky, 2 armed security guards on duty. That's
Yeah.
it.
If you're lucky.
If
Yeah.
you're lucky. And
And
a lot of your
I guarantee you those armed guards aren't going to be in top physical condition to be able to chase anybody or shoot anybody.
Yep, 100%. But here's the other thing. Then we went out and we interviewed these water treatment plants, but then we went to several water treatment plants where they had no guards.
Yep.
Or, but maybe one that would patrol maybe every couple hours. Or we'd go interview another plant where they had unarmed guards, totally unarmed. Well, if you're the cartel boys and you want to take out America or take out the large cities, what better way than for them to go hit our water supply and our
Right.
food chain?
We're very vulnerable. Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And this is why when we were telling people, you guys better be prepped up for this kind of shit and everything else in the book. Excuse my mouth this morning, but here it is. If you don't have a backup water source right now, say they decide to poison the water system, by the time the American people realize what the hell just hit us here in America, it's over. If that's what they really do decide to carry out, and if Homeland Security doesn't get on the job and demand that these plants are totally locked down, 100% secured, which Homeland Security, Tom Holman, all these guys should be on top of this right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're very, very vulnerable when it comes to our water resources. Absolutely. I agree with you, Jonathan. 100%.
Well, come on. I go to Vegas time to time. You go out to Vegas, you go through one of those buffet food lines, whatever. How hard would it be for somebody walking through just to sprinkle some, dry form of fentanyl over the freaking buffet line?
Right.
This is the kind of shit that the American people should be concerned about, should be worried about.
Yep.
But yet these Democrats, they all seem to think, oh, our borders are secure. We don't have a drug problem. We don't have this. Well, you know what, folks? These numbers don't lie. And
no, they
don't.
In
fact, I'm going to go ahead and enlarge this screen for you because we're going to see if it's going to let me enlarge it. Maybe not. Actually, let's see if I can enlarge it on our end. There we go.
There you go.
And then I'm going to scroll down this right here for you guys. So the operations also resulted in the seizure of more than 1,000 illegal firearms and $3 million in currency. Arrest targeted members of several criminal organizations, including the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, the Sinaloa Cartel, LNFM Cartel, MS-13, and the Trinidad guys as well. I mean, you know what? these boys got one thing in mind, pretty much death to America.
Yep. Well, when they
right
say
here,
it every day,
yep.
at some point we have to believe them when they start saying it every day. So on our
Does this
source.
help if I highlight it a little better like that for them?
Yep, that looks good. Wow. Yep.
Okay. Gives you guys kind of an idea here. And this is what the Trump administration's been having to deal with. This is why Donald Trump has also ordered for people to, for the military guys, just to wipe out these traffickers as they're coming in on their speed boats with their drugs and everything. You know, I 100% am on board with Donald Trump's response to this, and
Yes.
just wipe the SOBs out.
Right.
Don't even let me even
When
get.
they're identified as wanting to maim and kill us, then I got no problem with what they're doing right now.
Oh, absolutely not.
You know?
Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and get out of that screen for you guys. But, you know, again, this is the kind of stuff that we are seeing every day. This is what the Democrats are out doing their so-called no king protest, because Donald Trump's such a king. You know what? If he was our king, I'd be honored to call him a king for giving a shit about our country, for sitting there keeping the enemy away from our country as much as
Right.
he can.
Right.
And the son of a bitches that are trying to attack our country, he just says, "No, what? We're done. We're just going to wipe you out."
Right.
You know, and
Right.
I love Trump's response to this. And I'm sure the Democrats that are watching this show today are pulling their hair out. They're like, "Oh crap, that Alexander's exposing us all again." But you know what? But this shouldn't just this just cannot concern the Republicans. This ought to concern all Americans. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, folks.
Absolutely.
I mean, these drugs they're shipping in are killing the American people. Why wouldn't you care about your family, your children, your grandchildren, even if you are a Democrat or whatever you are? You know, this concerns you and your families as well. Not just the so-called Republican Party.
Right.
I mean, this affects all of America.
Absolutely. And I'm sure everyone that's watching has been affected in some way, shape, or form from a fentanyl poisoning within their family and or friends. You know, we all know somebody that has OD'd, you know, never on purpose, maybe on purpose, but they don't know what they're getting. So they're playing with these drugs and they wind up getting laced with the fentanyl. And it only takes 2 milligrams to be able to kill a full-sized adult.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's scary. It's very scary. And I think everyone has been affected by the fentanyl in some level.
Yeah.
So
and you know, Julie,
it's a we problem. It's a we the people problem. It's not a party problem.
Yeah.
It's a we the people problem.
And one of the things they're not talking about right here in those statistics there, rather what purity that fentanyl is. I mean, if that's pure form, guess what? Just a little taste of it on your tongue, you're dead.
Done.
If it's pure form.
Yep.
You know, and that's what people don't realize as well. I mean, so when they're talking about these numbers, they're not even telling you the purity of it.
No.
They're just telling you what they've confiscated. You know, because a lot of times the stuff they're trafficking in is in pure form. Except the dealers here in America can cut it down and make it into whatever form they want.
Right.
For distribution.
Money. Right.
So, but when it does come through, that is pure form. I mean, again, we've had Border Patrol agents sit there down on the borders, and I've covered this in past stories when I was reporting down on the border. You know, they would forget the glove up or whatever, or wear anything. They'd be reaching down, grabbing a backpack up off of the ground. It'd be a hot day. They're sitting there sweating. Next thing you know, it goes right into their pores, and they're dead. You know,
I remember you telling me, I was interviewing you. You had just witnessed one of the DHS agents who had not gloved up and touched it. And I think you told us that they had tried to Narcan him like 8 or 9 times and
Yeah.
he never came back.
Yeah.
And, you know,
And
it's
Julie,
so
this happened.
sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah. This happens every day.
Mhm.
I mean, you think about it. You get a pure form dose of fentanyl into your skin or through your saliva or whatever. I don't care how much Narcan you have. It's over.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of Narcan that we carry with us down on the border in case any of our team ever gets exposed. But
Mhm.
again, if you get a pure exposure of it, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what you
Yeah.
got with you. You're just done.
Yeah.
And by the time they try to air flight you over to Tucson or to Yuma Hospital, wherever you're at down there, whatever sector you're working in, by the time they get you there, you're already long gone. You know,
Mhm.
it's that quick with the fentanyl.
So, Jonathan, do you know the history of when they started bringing this stuff in? Do you when they really started ramping it up? Because, um, you
You,
know, it
you
used
know,
to be the big thing was cocaine. Everybody was doing the cocaine stuff or, you know, using that. But I was
well,
just
they've been
curious.
using this for years and years and years, Julie. But
Mhm.
a lot of the hospitals use it as a pain thing as well, but it's giving in a hospital dosage, um,
Pharmaceutical, right?
pharmaceutical.
Mhm.
But again, you got to keep in mind these people that are making it in Mexico, China, um, and I'm sure other countries are doing it as well. How they're making it is in the pure form,
Mhm.
not the hospital pharmaceutical form. This is pure form,
Yeah.
and then they try to get it distributed, or they'll try to cut it themselves and then redistribute it or whatever.
Mm.
And and for our children out there, and even I'm seeing even elderly people being affected from fentanyl, um, just left and right. Like
Mhm.
Kingman, Arizona, I think we've had 6 or 7 fentanyl overdoses that I know of just this month alone.
Wow.
That's just
That's
in
a lot.
Kingman, Arizona.
Dang, that's a
And
lot for a smaller community like
and
that.
when I've talked to the Mojave County Sheriff Department out here, they said this is becoming a big epidemic right here in Kingman.
Wow.
Um, but as well as everywhere else around the United States. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a wide open um, product for the world to get a hold of now through the
Mhm.
cartel and that's trafficking it. The cartel owns the business. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
I mean,
Right,
they
right,
run the
right.
show.
Yep.
Um,
Wow.
I've got another interesting thing I wanted to bring up as well. Let's see.
Okay.
This is where Senator, I think I'm saying it right, Tuberville calls for shutting down Sharia law here in the U.S. Well,
Yeah,
you
there's a
know,
concept.
and I can
Hello.
tell you right now, I'm 100% on board with this one as well. Um,
Shut that
you know,
shit down.
so let's go ahead and just, Trump can wipe out the cartel's military guys that they got, and that's what I
Mhm.
call them because, and people go, why do you call them cartel military? Because basically they control Mexico's military. I mean,
Mhm.
point blank
Right.
and clear.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if they don't like something, believe me, you're gonna know.
Wow.
Here we go. I think I found it. There we go. And we'll get this shared over to you guys. Tell me if that's going to play for you.
Mr. President, I come to the floor today to talk about 2 bills I recently introduced to shut down Sharia law in this country. I ruffled some feathers a few weeks ago when I came to the Senate floor to talk about what I believe is the greatest national security threat facing the United States of America: radical Islam and Sharia law. The Democrats and the mainstream media, they've been coming after me ever since I started talking about this subject. But after spending 40 years coaching, I don't really care what people think about me. I love this country, and I want to save this country for our kids and our grandkids.
Love this guy's
I was
attitude.
back in Alabama this weekend, and I heard from countless Alabamians who told me they are 100% behind what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, I work for the great people of Alabama and the great people of this country, not the pearl-clutching media that is out there hammering me every day. Speaking of Alabama, I'm proud that the Yellowhammer State banned Sharia law a long time ago. For too long, people have been afraid to call out radical Islam for what it is. Because if you dare to speak out, the left will come after you, your family, your reputation, and your job. They'll try to ruin your life just because they disagree with you. That's how they play the game. One of the radical
And you know, Julie, I get attacked left and right every time I start talking about the Muslims and the Islamic laws and all kinds of different things. And
Sure.
people try to attack me from the left and wherever else I'm getting this hate mail from.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what? And like I tell them, I said, have you guys ever studied the Quran Bible? Have any of you guys ever looked into what it really teaches the people?
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, I heard another reporter guy. I'm not going to mention names. I don't do that to anybody, but he mentioned, you know, about the guy in New York's Indian, plus he's Muslim. He goes, but that doesn't make him one of the bad ones. And it's like, are you fucking kidding?
Are you
Excuse
kidding
my
me?
mouth.
Please, no.
I mean, that was my first thought. It's like,
Oh yeah, mine too.
are you
Yeah.
freaking kidding me?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
care. I don't care if you're part of the Indian or Muslim. The point is, if you practice Sharia law, if you study the Quran Bible for your religion,
Yep.
I know exactly what you're about. And if you want to
Mhm.
make me out to be some hater, well, you know what? When they teach you to lie to people, to deceive them, and then it's okay to kill them.
And it's okay to kill them. Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
people don't get. They don't capture that because
Yeah.
they don't know the Sharia law. I'm still learning, but fundamentally what I do know is that they want to kill Americans. Period. What more do you flippin' need to know to be against the Sharia law?
You know, but I don't.
They tell us this 5 times a day. So
I never try to spread hate, you know.
no, same.
But when it comes to these guys right here, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, ship them the hell out of America and be done with it.
Yep.
We've got to focus on our country and getting our borders 100% secure, which they're still not secure. Obviously, you see the fentanyl still pouring through, and the drugs and everything in the world.
Yeah.
And you know, God bless Donald Trump for what he has been able to get accomplished so far. And you know, but again, he's up against the tribal nations. You know, these tribal land the council people at the tribal lands don't want his wall.
Right.
Excuse me. All because they're getting paid off buku bucks. from the
Always,
cartel.
always just follow the money. You know, that's one thing that people really, they're like, oh, you say this, you say that, and you're against this and against that. Well, yes, because when you do the research and you follow the money and you see the ties and you see how corrupt all levels are, then yeah, this is why we're talking about it, you know, and bringing it to people's attention. We, the people, have been stolen from on all level of everything. You know, your property taxes, your income tax, everything that they have been doing has been going on and perpetuating against us for decades, if not generations. And so, yeah, it's time for we, the people, to stand up and say that this just is not acceptable. We are not here to have targets put on our backs just because we identify as an American and in our own country. That's ridiculous.
Well, here's what I'm going to do today, Julie, and I've done this in the past, and I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
All you Democratic senators, Congress guys, you know, I've already been taking the Republicans, senators and congressmen down to the border for the last 4 years.
Right.
You know, I'm inviting every one of you guys and every one of the Democrats that want to take a border tour with me down to the Tucson sector. We can take you into areas in the Yuma sector, and we'll take you right into the heart of the fucking cartel on American soil.
There you go.
And I'll take you down there. You bring your film cameras with you. And you know what? At the end of your little journey with me down there, and if you can look me in the face and say you don't see a problem down here with the cartel, and with what you're witnessing going on, I'll give you $100 bill.
There
And
it
if I
goes.
win, you pay for my whole trip down there with you guys, including my lodging. So there's the bet for you guys.
That's a
And
solid bet. Solid.
I'm inviting everybody that wants to take a trip down to the border. You guys get your gear, get a 3-day supply, and I'm going to take your asses down there, and I'm going to give you a tour of a lifetime, like I've done. Senator Phil Hart, Pastor John Padula out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, even went with me. Phil Lyman out of Utah went with me. David Flippo out of Vegas went with me. David Flippo can tell you all kinds of stories as well as Phil Lyman and everybody. I'll take you guys down there, and I mean, I got a whole list of other ones too, but we don't have all day for this.
Right.
But the point is, guys, I'll take you guys down. I'll take you into the areas where we took these senators and congressmen, and let me educate you and give you a little facts of life of what you call our country and our border is safe right now.
Right.
That these illegals that poured through our border is all safe people to be around. And you know what? I guarantee you, you're going to eat your words. So there's my challenge to all of you. And you know what? I'll even put my money where my mouth is. Every one of you guys that come down, I'll give you the tour. At the end of the tour, I'll flood you with some cash if I'm in the wrong. But you know
I
what?
think that's a valid offer.
Yeah, but you guys put your money where your mouth is, spreading all this gossip and bullshit, acting like our borders are secure and we don't have a problem here in America. And you fund my trip because you're going to lose. So there's my bet to y'all.
Solid.
Yeah.
Anybody want to take that up? Yep. Holler out to
110%.
Johnathon.
So you know what? I walk the walk every day. How about you walking the walk and come see it for yourselves?
Right.
There. That's a good way to say it.
Exactly.
You know what? I've got a couple other things. I love this one.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah, you know what? Hopefully they don't. Actually, we did not quite finish that video. Sorry about that.
Yeah, let's watch that a little more.
Did I not finish that? No, I did not.
Radical left's go-to tactic is to accuse anyone who disagrees with them as being a racist, a bigot, or intolerant. They've tried that with me, calling me an Islamophobe for calling out the evils of Islam. But there's only one problem with that strategy. One, radical Islam isn't a race, it's an ideology. It's a choice. And I would argue it is a cult. So no, I'm not an Islamophobe. If you want to peacefully practice your religion, that's fine with me. That's what our Constitution gives you the right to do. Our Constitution gives you that right, and that's why we have millions of Christians, Jews, Mormons, Hindus, Buddhists, and peaceful Muslims who worship freely in this great country of ours called the United States of America. But if you come here, you are expected to assimilate to our country and our values. I recently saw a stat that absolutely shocked me. We have 42 million people in this country that are on food stamps. 42 million. You would think these people are just Americans who have fallen on hard times.
Now hear this.
Which is who the program is for. But a disproportionate amount of these 42 million people are immigrants. 45% of Afghanistani immigrants are on food stamps. 42 of the Somalian immigrants are on food stamps. And 59% of all illegal aliens are collecting food stamps. 59%. So clearly, these people are not coming here and assimilating in our America way of life by working hard and taking care of your family. What an idea. They are coming here to mooch off the American taxpayer. It's wrong, and we need to call it out. But beyond the tax...
And you know, and then the American people, They go down, they try to apply for benefits. Like I said, they make a buck over, they're just disqualified.
Yeah,
They get
completely. Yep.
they're willing to give these guys free housing, free food, free
Yep.
medical,
And
and you know
thousands of
what?
dollars,
Yeah,
thousands of dollars. We've
yeah.
seen receipts from
Oh
these
yeah,
folks with their balance of $14,000 in food stamps and a balance of 5,000 in cash. What in the F and F?
well,
That's
look at that.
crazy.
Yeah, look at the cash cards they were giving them down there on the border. After they're
Yes.
processed.
That's
Here-
ridiculous. And
here's your
that's all
cash card.
our money. That's
Yep.
all taxpayer money, people, that is going to them.
It's like,
So, yeah.
it's like, here's your cash card, here's your free hotel, here's your free airline ticket, here's free everything for you. Oh,
Shit,
that's
I'd
right.
go to any country if they offered me that. Hell.
Oh hell, they're offering it. The New York City mayor is going to be offering it. I guess
Yeah,
y'all can call
and now,
New York your new country right there, folks.
yeah, and now he's asking the people to send him money. That's
Yep.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Cracks
asking
me
people
up.
to send him money, say he can keep good to his promise of free all.
Right. After he
That's
gets
what the mayor.
40 million sent to him by Soros's
Yeah,
campaign. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
unreal.
real.
Taxpayer concerns this religion is also fundamentally incompatible with our Western values. So wake up, America.
Oh, yeah.
The Quran instructs Islamists to fight Jews and Christians, along with anyone else who doesn't believe in Allah.
Jews, Christians, and
Simply put,
infidels.
radical Islam teaches that it is righteous to kill Christians. It's righteous. There's no peaceful coexistence with this type of people. None.
Yep.
Just look at the Middle East and North Africa, where Christians and Jews are being slaughtered by the thousand. Where's our media? Where are they at? More than 7,000 Christians have been slaughtered by radical Muslims in Nigeria so far this year.
Yeah, those numbers are real, folks. That's why Trump is in the process of getting our military involved to put a stop to this. I mean, we have got thousands of Christians over there that's already died. And,
Yes.
And Julie, the sad part about it is the American people are kind of like, well, so what? That's over there. And I've heard so many American people say that. And it's like, well, wait a second. Are you a Christian? well,
If you
yeah.
think that's not here or coming over here or already here, you're very, very disillusioned.
Yeah. It's like
already
what kind of Christian would say that about another Christian in another country?
Yeah.
If you call yourself a Christian,
right,
then live up to it.
Right.
Otherwise,
as far as I'm
all
God's
concerned, you're a
children
fake
need
Christian.
to be protected. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yep.
7,000. That's 35 people that have been killed every day this year. Where's the mainstream media? How come they're not talking about that?
Yep.
Radical Islam demands complete obedience, complete, 100%, and will kill you if you dare to speak out against their beliefs and ideologies.
Yep.
This isn't anything new. Muslims have been fighting to wipe out Christians and Jews for centuries. But now the problem isn't just confined to faraway Middle East. It's happening right here in our backyard in 50 states.
Yep.
We're already seeing cities in Michigan, Minnesota being taken over by Sharia law.
Probably right on your city
In Dearborn,
block.
Michigan, a Christian pastor recently protested. A street was named after a radical Islamist terrorist. Pastor just complained about it. In response, the Muslim mayor of Dearborn told the pastor that he is no longer welcome in the town and will celebrate the day that he leaves.
Oh. What?
Think about that. A Christian pastor is being silenced here in America for objecting to a taxpayer-funded road being named after a terrorist.
Yep.
We're losing it. Or take what has been happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which has been and seen a massive influx.
You guys got to keep in mind this senator right here, Senator Tuberville, however you pronounce that. This senator has received a lot of flack for doing this.
No, I
speak
don't
about.
doubt.
But you
Yeah.
know what? It takes more and more people like him, like even me and Julie. It takes all of us to get involved, to make our voices heard, to get this
Yes.
message out to America. If you guys agree with what we're saying, with what he's saying, like and share our broadcast here today, please, folks. Get this out to America. Let them see what's happening. Um, we just need the truth spread, and you guys are our eyes and ears and voices out in the field.
That's
So
right.
please get it out there.
Yes, please share.
Of Somalians moving into their neighborhood. I recently saw a story that absolutely shocked me. More than 75 Somalians have been arrested in a massive scheme where they stole $300 million from a American taxpayer-funded child nutrition program.
100%.
$300 million. So these Somalian criminals came to Minneapolis. They took advantage of our free schools and our free health care, and then they stole $300 million from American taxpayers right under our noses. Where is the media? Where's the outrage? And where did this money go?
The money probably went into the media's pocket, being bought and paid for.
Well, I've got
as
a
the
special
Democrats'
name. That's right. I've got a special name for those mainstream media folks. We can call them the prostitutes.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Where do you think it went? You guessed it. It went back to Somalia. It's disgusting, and these people should be deported, if not jail for life. In case you're still unclear about the dangers we're facing, here are a few reasons why Sharia law does not work in a Western society like the United States. In America, we value free speech. The U.S. Constitution gives us that right.
And we value God, family, and country.
The First Amendment is what makes this country, America, great.
Right.
You're allowed to express your opinions publicly without fear of the government arresting you or killing you. But under Sharia law,
under Sharia law, they'll execute you.
any criticism that goes against what Muhammad or the Quran says can be punishable by death.
By death.
Yep.
Further, under the U.S. Constitution and the First Amendment, equal rights for people of all faiths are protected. Western culture treats everyone equal, regardless of their religious beliefs. Under Sharia law, if you are not a Muslim, you are treated as the enemy. Radical Islam says you can discriminate against and even be violent towards non-Muslims. We see that happening now in Europe, where non-Muslims are being violently attacked every day, all over Europe. It's because Sharia law not only accepts but encourages this type of disgusting.
But it's not just happening in Europe, folks. This has also been happening in Dearborn, Michigan. We have had reports coming in on where people have been attacked by the Muslims. You know, and again, I'm not here to spread hate or anything else. I'm here to get the news out to America and to get the truth out. And that's up for all you guys to make your own decisions on how you feel about what's going on here in our own country with Sharia law being pushed down our throats, with Muslims taking over our elections. But again, the Democrats are already out in New York. I guess they're starting to throw a fit about their new mayor already. So it's only going to take them a matter of, I say a couple more weeks and they'll have it figured out.
Behavior. Another major difference between Islam and our Western culture is the way we treat women. In the U.S., marriage happens when a man and woman mutually decide that they want to get married and be with each other. But under Sharia law, older men are allowed to marry 6-year-old girls.
6.
Which is unbelievable.
6-year-old girls.
6 years old.
Good.
That's not marriage. In America, we call that pedophilia.
Hello, massive pedophilia.
But that's just scraping the surface. In Sharia law, women are sold, raped, trafficked, no problem to them. That's their way of life. Women are not allowed to get an education or have a job. They aren't even allowed to leave home without a man escorting them. And women are forced to wear burqas, which cover basically everything but their eyes. Meanwhile, men are allowed to have multiple wives, marry children, and do not have to cover their heads.
Well, hell, for half of the politicians out there, that might fit right up their alley. I mean, they all like to cheat on their spouses and whatever else.
Exactly.
Makes your blood boil. Not to mention the horrible way that minorities are treated in countries that follow Sharia law. There's no tolerance in these countries. If you live in a country that practices Sharia law and are not Muslim, you're lucky if you aren't thrown in jail or killed. That's because Islam and Sharia law teach that you must hate non-Muslims and should wage jihad, which literally means holy war against people who do not believe.
How many of you guys watched the report here a couple of years back? I actually shared the broadcast on it, where Fox News was interviewing the training camps they've got here on American soil, and the federal government is quite aware of it, allowing it, saying there was nothing they could do about it. That these guys are allowed to train, kind of like a militia can go out and train. Well, when you come into our country, you're flying your country's flag. You're training. As far as I'm concerned, last I knew, that's called an invasion.
Yes, fully.
Yeah. Why are you flying
another? And invasion.
Oh, you bet. I mean, this is what we're seeing coming to America every day. We're seeing more and more of it. And my understanding, they've got another Muslim trying to get into office up in Washington. I'm trying to confirm that. That's what was shared with me this morning. But, they're trying to take over our cities. If they can get elected as mayors and different things like that, they can change the laws in their city. Just like this Muslim guy out in New York. Let's see. Go ahead and share something for a second here if you want. And I'm going to pull up what Christine sent over to me because she was unable to make the show.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just go into the... Well, I don't know which article. She sent me a lot.
Yeah.
But anyways...
We're going to get her on here and we're going to have a much bigger conversation.
Yeah, this is where they were trying to... they're banning all cigarettes and alcohol in New York City.
Wonder how long that's going to last.
The Muslims don't believe in it. And I guess he publicly said it. There's just all kinds of other things that this same guy's saying. And all of a sudden, the New York people are like, oh, wait a second. That's not what we voted for. And who the hell are you to tell us that we can't have our whiskey or our booze or whatever else? I wonder how that's going to go over with the New York mobsters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Probably not very well, would be my guess.
Well, my guess is this guy probably is on some borrowed time. If that's what he tries to pull, I think there's some pretty big outfits out there in New York, but that just might say, well, screw you do.
Yeah.
I hate to talk like that, but you can't just come in and take something away from New York people that they've had all their life and tell them all of a sudden you can't have a fancy cigar or, or a couple of beers or a shot of whiskey if that's what you choose to do.
Right.
And this guy evidently is just going to push it. And we'll see how.
Maybe
see how it works out.
Yeah, and I think maybe his role is to really get the word out about how horrible Sharia law is. Because right now a lot of people are operating they have no clue. Like you said, if they had read the Quran, they would see what Allah, what you have to really, really be in alignment with. And I'm sorry, but anything that states that it's a religion and it wants you to hurt and kill people, in my book, is not a religion. That is not a religion touched and by God and of the light, right?
Right.
And so it's just not a religion. So I don't abide. I don't agree with it. And yeah, it cannot stand here in the United States.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we've allowed it in too many areas, and people need to push back and call it out. And I'm glad to see that at least this senator is bringing it to the surface, right?
Right. Hey, Julie, I'm going to share a little bit about what Tucker Carlson had to say.
Okay, great.
So give me a minute. Hopefully I've got it still here. Okay, that's him. Let me get rid of this one first. Okay. Actually, you know what? I think we all need a good laugh after all that. So I'm going to share what you sent to me.
Oh, the straw man.
Part? He's been dead.
Make that bigger, Jonathan.
Ah, the government. It loves you and wants to keep you safe and well. It even wants to make paying taxes, fines, and court costs easier for you. How? Well, you'll need to meet your straw man. He was born the same day you were. He looks like you, has the same name, and lives in your house, but you never knew he existed. You will have even paid his parking tickets or taxes. The worst part? He's been dead from day one. From every birth certificate, a legal personality, or legal fiction, is created with the same name to confuse little old you into thinking it's you. So, there's a human you and a paper you, or as it's commonly known, a straw man. So when it seems like government officials, court clerks, or the police are speaking English, they aren't. They're speaking legalese, designed to make you agree to verbal and written contracts without even knowing about it, all spun from Black's Law Dictionary. For example, when the police say, "Do you understand?" you'll say, "Yes." What they are really saying is, "Do you stand under our authority?" Oops-a-daisy, you just created a verbal contract with them. Oh, you clever government. Did you know that whenever you register something, you are handing over title to the person you register it with? That's right. Whenever you register something with the government, they assume it belongs to them. Registered your car? Super! Now you are the registered keeper of your vehicle, and the government can crush it when you don't pay your, straw man's taxes. Expecting a new bundle of joy? Well, then you need to register your little darling with a birth certificate. Then they can start the process all over again and create a new straw man for your little one. Isn't that great? So when Junior grows up, he'll be able to generate revenue just like you have. When you notify on your baby by signing the birth certificate, your child becomes a ward of state. And if the government doesn't like what you're doing, they'll assume it's okay to take the child away or make new rules for things they don't like. Not enough school? Smacking your child? Shouting too loudly? Then it's off to social services for
Well,
the
you got to
little
admit,
ones.
it's nothing but the
When
truth.
you get a bill, it's sent to you, but belongs to your straw man, not you. That's why bills, fines, and summons start with Mr., Mrs., or Ms. Sometimes you'll see your surname in capitals, just like on a gravestone. That's because your straw man is dead, and just a silly piece of paper, created before you could comprehend or even consent to it. When you go to court, you represent your straw man, so you, the human, take on any costs, fees, taxes, and fines involved for the straw man. The human you doesn't even need to pay them. But you made a contract with the court by appearing on behalf of your legal personality or straw man, just like the government knew you would. Confused? Well, don't worry. The government doesn't want you to know anyway. If you knew, you'd stop paying things like council tax and parking tickets. Because when you go to court, you are representing your straw man. You are you, alive and made of flesh and blood. Your straw man or legal personality is a piece of paper created from your birth certificate. And you think it's you. What a silly Billy. Would you like to know more? Well, then go over to tpuc.org. Get out,
gotta
get
love
informed, and get
Yep.
real.
You know, as simple and short as that is, I love using it because I think it's a wonderful introduction to the concept that the people, the entity that is being taxed is not we, the people individually, blood, sweat, and tears. And so it's the piece of paper that they've created from our birth certificate. And so they use the amount, so, you know, you put the pounds and ounces born on the certificate. Well, that's the amount of weight that they use to sell you on the market in gold and silver assets, right? And they just trade you all over. So I took the number, and everybody can do this. I'll have to look and see where I can relocate this website. But there's a number on that birth certificate. You take that number, you plug it into this website. It will pop up for you how many times your number has been used. My number has been used over 1.5 million times. That's not money that's been made on me. That's 1.5 million entities that have used my individual birth certificate number. I found it over in Germany. They're using it in France. They're using it in Italy, all over. It's incredible. So this is what we say. We have been stolen from day one, and it's not just us. It's our parents. It's our grandparents. So long as we can see the line of birth certificates, they have been stealing from us.
Yeah.
Sad.
Hey, Julie, we are right at 11. I want to share this one last part real quick before we have to end this broadcast.
Yeah.
I want to share what Tucker Carlson had to say here.
Super.
I think this is the one that I wanted to share.
And I did want to share too, next week, I'll have contact information and my website up and running as well. So if folks have questions, they can reach out to me next week. I'll have some good areas.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
I think the EU is a tremendous danger if it doesn't get its act together on fundamental values. You know, there's this dialectic going on. Everybody is afraid of Russia, completely afraid, paralyzed.
Yeah.
I mean, a Russian drone crosses the border and we're at DEFCON 1. Yet, after, 4+ years, Kiev isn't taken. None, I think there's been a 1% change in territory. So how can Europe be so completely in fear of Russia and yet at the same time instrumentalize that fear to destroy their economies, to maintain sanctions, to engage in wildly self-destructive behavior, and fail to maintain democratic values? You saw them throw out a candidate in Romania. You saw what they're trying to do in Germany. You see what's happened in France. It is a continuous obliteration of rule of law. And we have got to start getting back to first principles with respect to rule of law everywhere, or we will lose it completely everywhere.
Bob Amsterdam, I swear I check the news regularly waiting for an account of your arrest. I hope it never comes, but you are taking actual physical risks on behalf of people who don't have power. So I'm grateful to you for that.
Well, thank you for having me.
Stay free.
Thank you.
Stay free. For sure.
We've got a new website we hope you will visit. It's called newcommissionnow.com, and it refers to a new 9/11 commission. So we spent months putting together our 9/11 documentary series. And if there's one thing we learned, it's that in fact, there was foreknowledge of the attacks. People knew.
The American public deserves to know.
We're shocked, actually, to learn that, to have that confirmed, but it's true. The evidence is overwhelming. The CIA, for example, knew the hijackers were here in the United States. They knew they were planning an act of terror.
In his passport is a visa to go to the United States of America.
A foreign national was caught celebrating as the World Trade Center fell and later said he was in New York, quote, to document the event. How did he know there would be an event to document in the first place? Because he had foreknowledge. And maybe most amazingly, somebody, an unknown investor, shorted American Airlines and United Airlines, the companies whose planes the attackers used on 9/11, as well as the banks that were inside the Twin Towers just before the attacks. They made money on the 9/11 attacks because they knew they were coming. Who did that?
You have to look at the evidence.
The U.S. government learned the name of that investor, but never released it. Maybe there's an innocent explanation for all this, but there isn't, actually. And by the way, it doesn't matter whether there is or not. The public deserves to know what the hell that was. How did people know ahead of time, and why was no one ever punished for it? 9/11 Commission, the original one, was a fraud. It was fake. Its conclusions were written before the investigation. That's true, and it's outrageous.
So, you know, Julie, I was also told there was Israel's people right there celebrating right when it was hitting.
Yeah.
And this is why right now Israel is just coming unglued about Tucker Carlson talking about this, getting it out. Richard Gage, 9/11. I just got done interviewing him several weeks back.
Yeah, he's got amazing stuff. I've interviewed him as well. He's got some really good stuff there. Yep.
Yeah, we did a 3-day documentary on it on 9/11, and him and a group of architects, some of the best in the world, have got the government's attention. They're opening up the investigation, and I'm hoping they go after him. And a lot of people kept saying after we did the broadcast, they kept saying, "Why are you guys bringing up something that was over 20 some years ago?"
Because this is how long these people plan this shit. That's the answer. This is how long they wait to try to take us out completely. Sorry, I'm going off a little bit, but this has been in the process for a long time, folks.
And also
Yeah.
The other answer to that, Julie, is because I don't care if it was 100 years ago. If you've got the evidence supporting how corrupt the government was and what they were involved in, like the demolition of the 3 Trade Center towers, why would you not still pursue this?
Exactly.
There's people, like George W. Bush, you know what? Yeah, we all can have our own opinions. I'm just gonna sit at that until this investigation is done. But I can tell you right now, like I said about World Trade Center number 7. Number 7, folks, was never touched by a plane.
Yep.
And
And it was the financial building.
And that was the financial building Tucker was just talking about, where all that money was.
Yeah, supposedly.
Supposedly. What better way that's the greatest. That could be very much the world's greatest theft right there from the American people and everybody else, as they stole billions of dollars and then made it look like it all got burned up in a fire.
Right.
I mean,
well, next to Obamacare, I would agree with you. It's one of the biggest ways to steal money from the American people.
That's the reason why I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about Tucker Carlson today. It was pretty ironic that he's been covering this probably as much as I've been covering it lately.
Good stuff.
Just getting it out there to the American people that we cannot just let 9/11 go.
That's
I never have, never will, until this matter is 100% resolved, or as resolved as it ever can get. Richard Gage, 9/11. If you guys don't know about him, go to Richard Gage, 911.org, I believe is what it is. I'll post it somewhere in the footage here for you guys to go check out his stuff. We're going to be sharing some of his documentary stories here and on Q broadcasts as well. We're going to be sharing it on the news channel and covering those stories. They have got so much new evidence that is enough to totally sink this government, in my opinion.
Yes.
And proof is in the pudding, and
That's
there it
right.
is. It's
That's
right there
right.
before you. You can't ignore it, And here's the question I just want to ask all you guys, and we're going to end this broadcast. Any of you ever wonder why in the hell, right when those World Trade Center towers went down, for those of you that were alive back there and watching this, because I realize we got a younger generation watching now too. But for those of you guys that were around back then, why in the hell, from day one of the World Trade Center collapse, would they already start hauling the steel out that they could haul out and shipping it to China right off the bat? This is a crime scene, folks. It's supposedly a crime scene. Why would you take the crime scene and ship it off to China? Think about it. And and then if you don't know that, do your homework. I guarantee you, you're going to see what I'm saying is right.
Yep. And don't use Google. Don't use Google.
Do your research on it. Like I said, go to Richard Gage 9/11.
.org.
He's all over the internet as well. I'll share a bunch of stuff that he has as well with you guys. But check out their facts. Research them too. Richard's a good friend of mine, and I'm actually going to see him when I go out on my vacation to Idaho.
Awesome.
Right where I was used to live at, pretty much.
Cool.
So I'm going to hang out with him and look at a bunch of his other investigation material that he's got as well.
That's awesome. That's great.
And we'll probably do a couple of days of documentaries out there while I'm there, do some live broadcasting as well. But you guys really got to check it out. And just get this stuff out to America. That's all I'm asking you guys to do right now. Everything we're reporting, getting out there to you guys. Please share it, and get it out there.
Yes.
Facebook has been definitely censoring the crap out of me. A lot of people say they don't even know I'm live until 3 hours, 4 hours a day later.
Wow.
Just get this broadcasted out to people. Help me get it broadcasted out to people. We're focusing, exposing the corruption here in this country and getting the truth out to people. So we need your help.
Absolutely.
Julie, anything you'd like to add to this broadcast? I loved your video, by the way.
Well, hopefully that video will open up some folks' eyes and get them to researching what the heck a straw man is. And that's one of the conversations I love having and discussing with people. And so, next week, I'm looking forward to having some contact information. People can get in touch with me directly. But the 9/11 thing, I've been researching it for 5 years, and everything that Johnathon's talking about, very valid. I've come to the same conclusions. It's been an inside job from day one, and they were working on it for a very long time. In fact, there was insurance taken out on the towers for such a terrorist attack. And the person that took the insurance out was actually able to double dip, because it wasn't counted as one terrorist attack to the first tower. It was counted as two. So that person double dipped on his insurance claim and just happened to not be at his usual breakfast in the towers that morning. Go figure.
Well, Julie, it's funny. A lot of people that would normally be there those days just mysteriously decided not to show up to work.
Yep. Mysteriously. Yep.
So,
and don't get me wrong, some were miracles and they had a feeling, and there was, they didn't know, but there's too much proof that there were a lot of people that knew it was going to come down, and so they didn't show up to work. So scary.
Well, all I can say is what the government is willing to do to get what they want.
Exactly.
And I'm just going to leave it at that. Like I said, I'm going to let the professionals be the investigators. I mean, I'm a private investigator too, by the way, folks. I work with Stewart and Associates out of Idaho. my partner Dennis Stewart. And so
Cool.
we don't just try to cover the news stories for you guys. We investigate everything thoroughly before even broadcasting it to make sure it's legit or whatever else.
Right.
And, it doesn't mean we're perfect, doesn't mean we're not going to make a mistake here and there. And if we ever do make a mistake, we're going to come on here live and we're going to flat out tell you, hey, guys, I made a mistake on this.
Yep. We'll own it. For real.
Just I'll own it. If I'm in the wrong, I guarantee you I'll own it.
Yep,
So
for real.
it's called I'm Only Human.
That's right. We all are.
But we do our damn best to make sure that we're sharing you guys nothing but the facts, especially when we're out there in the field reporting live. That's why we live stream it for you guys when we're in the field working on the border, because I want you guys to see everything like I see it, current time and event, right then and there. If I'm getting shot at, I want you guys to see I'm getting shot at as I'm getting shot at.
Right.
Trust me, I'm probably going to drop the damn camera and take some cover.
Don't do that. We don't want you to get shot. No.
But the point is, we do this live stream.
Right.
It's uncut, unedited, and for me, that's what I call real news broadcasting, getting the truth out to people, because we don't cut, slice, and dice our videos to make it look like some bullshit that it's not.
Right.
We show you what the true reality is of what we're dealing with. So,
absolutely. Yep.
That's what we call real news, folks.
That's right. We're not prostitutes.
Yep. Well, Julie, love having you here on the show.
Great to be here. Thanks again.
And we'll get our story ready for you guys for tomorrow. We're going to be live again at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 Pacific. Hope you guys can tune in to your news, Arizona. Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. Sorry about that. Somebody asking me, hold on, guys. I might have a person wanting to come on here. Nope, they don't want to go live. Okay.
Well, maybe we'll do it tomorrow. We'll chat tomorrow.
Yeah. Anyways, well, the comment to me is they're telling me, yes, your broadcast down on the borders and everything is 100% authentic and real as it gets.
Excellent.
Well, appreciate your comments out there,
great.
folks.
Great.
But that's what it's all about. When we're out there in the field reporting, like I said, I want you guys to see what I see. I want you to see the truth. And again, one last time before I end this broadcast, I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. If you don't believe our borders are as bad as we tell you they are, give me a call. Call me at the studio. My number's been scrolling around all day long there. It's area code 928-385-4738, I believe. This is my... By God, I got it memorized. 928-385-4738. Give me a call if you guys would like to schedule a tour with me down to the border. I'll be happy to take all of you to the border.
Awesome.
We'll give you, and like I said, we'll give you a tour of a lifetime, one that you're never going to forget. And that I promise. Chances are you might have a little PTSD or a little emotional problems when we're done taking you.
Right. Yeah. It might be a little triggering. Warning.
I'll tell you, we've actually been down there. We've actually come under fire. I'm not going to lie to you.
Wow.
So, you decide to come to the border. Your life can be in harm's way.
Right. Make sure your life insurance is paid up.
Yep. Depends what day we're at and where we're at. Very well could have the Sinaloa Cartel open fire on us or whatever. Wouldn't be the first time. Sure it won't be the last.
Yeah. Scary.
I personally wear level 4 armor when I'm down there. But that doesn't stop a headshot. We know that. So,
right.
Anyways, guys, God bless you guys. Love all you patriots out there. Thanks for tuning in today. God bless. And you all have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Jonathan. Have a great day, everyone.
Gotcha. All right.